Welcome to the RNBE. But today, Rob had a family emergency and is not joining me. So today, it is the RNHNG. Please tell me you can do that. Oh.
D.
RNDEG. RNDN. Shut up, Han.
I should be feeling bad for you not laughing.
You're Han. I've renamed Dan to Han. This is Dan. He's one of the editors here on the channel Comicstorian. He does a lot of work behind the scenes. He spends a lot of time on our Twitch channel. This is Gary. Many of you know him. He has more lore than Destiny at this point.
It's true.
I agree with that.
It's all true. Every bit of it. Yeah.
Can we start a Gary Grim War?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what that is.
It's where they put the only lore for Destiny and then they got rid of it. It was on a website away from the game.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, Han, Gary.
Or Batgirl.
Today we're going to film a late Valentine's Day video.
Okay.
This isn't even being recorded before Valentine's Day and coming out late. We're recording it the day after Valentine's Day because that's how we are.
Because we're dudes.
We're dudes.
Because we're dudes.
We're dudes.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. So we're doing it afterwards. All right. So today we're going to talk about the most controversial comic book relationships ever put out. Okay? And then I want you two to elevator pitch me with your minimal knowledge of comic books what you think would make a great story and see if we can craft it after this. Okay?
Okay.
Because I got a feeling this will go quickly. Okay?
Okay.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I was trying to formulate my idea again in my head and realizing that it's not as good as I thought it was, but I'm going to make it good.
Okay, Han.
God damn it.
Anyway, the first up on this list, it is at whatculture.com. As usual, we get most of our lists that we discuss from whatculture.com because they're awesome. They make really good lists.
They also have a Benny Potter on staff.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
No.
Yes.
No,
No.
they don't.
One of their members, he like does videos and everything. His name is Benny Potter.
No,
Yes.
hold on.
I
Are
thought
you
knew
working
that.
in your sleep
I
again?
thought you knew that.
That's got to be someone.
Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. Maybe
No,
I'm
there's
making it up.
there's me as my book.
Did you search What Culture Benny Potter?
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking.
There's no way.
I thought.
Ben Potter.
Well, excuse me.
It says they have no articles, no views, no shares, and they have a written bio. So I think someone stole my name.
What if
No,
they
I
saw
was
you doing
watching-
their lists in the videos and they're like,
Yes.
we can count him now?
No, I was watching a video on
I'm
YouTube.
counted in the team.
And he said, my name is Ben Potter. And he like went on this whole Harry Potter thing. And anyway, it was What Culture. I'm not making it up.
That's
I
crazy.
think you are.
I'm not making it up.
I think you
Anyway,
are.
Let's get back to the talk.
Number 10 is Juggernaut and She-Hulk. What? Juggernaut.
Okay.
And
Yes, I know who-
She-Hulk.
The X-Men.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. X-Men Juggernaut.
And
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Subject
happened?
of countless jokes in the years since, one-time pairing of Kane, Marco, and Jennifer Walters was promptly retconned with a reevaluation of what was a different She-Hulk who slept with Juggernaut. She was the one from Earth 721. Convenient, yes, but that didn't stop the incident from becoming a running gag even after the retcon, with Marco's place on Walters' list of past conquests a frequent source of embarrassment. There's nothing else. She just ended up with him. There's like no...
There's no explanation.
No!
There's
No,
nothing as to what, like, any reason, or was it people just going, wait, you really put those two together?
Yeah.
And then it was gone?
I think that's what it says.
Huh.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. It's like when I go to text somebody something and my wife goes, I wouldn't say that. And then I delete it. I'm like, okay.
Does she screen all of your texts?
No, but occasionally she'll just say, like an email or something. She'll say, I wouldn't word it like that. And I don't question her. And she's almost always right about it.
Okay. I have nothing to say to
Yeah,
this. Like, I just...
Yeah. Like,
Because
what do you...
part of me's even thinking like,
Nothing can stop the Juggernaut.
he's got a juggernaut. No? Okay.
No!
Am I allowed to say that on this one?
I don't know. We might have to censor
know.
that one. This is
Yeah.
Comicstorian.
Or just play it backwards just during that few seconds so that, yeah, I don't know.
His phrase just means something totally different if you put him into a relationship.
Yeah, it's true.
I just,
Well,
because
yeah.
when you think of it at face value, There's not too much wrong with it.
No, I mean, other than he's a
Like,
villain.
unless that they did...
Nothing can stop the Juggernaut. I'm just picturing this. Like,
Okay.
you just see a curtain and you just hear, nothing can stop the Juggernaut. And then you hear, She-Hulk smash!
In the next room, yeah.
So what I said
okay,
can't be allowed.
But I do have a question. This is coming from my ignorance. He's just in a relationship with She-Hulk. Does She-Hulk have a non-Hulk form?
Yes.
Yes.
Then what?
She probably shouldn't turn into that.
I mean, like, is he just in a relationship with She-Hulk, or is he also
we're
in the
questioning-
relationship
Oh,
with?
I see what he's
with
saying.
The
Is he-
human form.
Is he in a
Yes.
relationship with Jennifer Walters and
Oh,
doesn't know?
she's one and the same. It's not like Bruce Banner
No, I
where
know.
the Hulk's like a separate entity.
Oh,
She
okay. I
knows
didn't know
what
that.
yeah, she's the same
Okay,
person.
okay, so she's fully aware of.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
This isn't like when she transforms, she's sleeping with the Juggernaut. When she changes back, she's like, ew, no.
Ew, no.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, number 9 is Barbara Gordon and Tim Drake from Batman Arkham Knight.
Okay.
We discovered that they retconned their own origins a little bit, put them together. For me, being a fan of Batman, being a fan of Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon, being a fan of Batgirl, being a fan of Tim Drake, this made no sense other than as a shock and awe moment.
See, I know
We
nothing
like-
about
just-
them.
Huh?
I know nothing about them.
I just don't
They
see
don't,
anything
they don't
wrong
even
with
like
that.
communicate directly that often in the comics.
Okay.
Okay, that I could see.
Yeah, but in this universe, they put them together.
I guess in a way of like Red Robin and Oracle, I could see, because they're both very smart and kind of overwatching. But it's,
Okay,
it's
now
still
I'm
just like...
picturing Oracle in a
God.
sex situation with her wheelchair. But that before, what it makes me think of, has anyone seen the movie Freddy Got Fingered?
Actually, no, I didn't see it.
Did you
I
see?
I was mistaken
did you
that
see,
with Road Trip.
So Freddy Got Fingered is a movie brought to you by, I think his name is Tom Green.
Tom Green.
Known for just being over the top and insane.
Yes.
I remember being like 13 and watching this movie, Freddy Got Fingered. And he gets with a wheelchair bound woman. And he's trying to be gentle with her, and she wants to be caned because she can't feel it. So she gets off to being caned in her paralyzed legs. And every time I picture like Oracle in a sexual situation, I just
With a
I
giant
picture her-
batarang.
Yeah. Am I the only one that remembers that?
I never saw it, so I remember the movie, but I never watched
Oh
it.
my god.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some
And
sausage?
that's literally all I remember of it. Yeah, is
There's a
the
scene
trailer.
where because the whole
Yeah.
thing is him messing with his dad.
Okay.
And his dad walks home one day and he's tied a bunch of sausages to strings, tied them to his fingers, and he's playing piano. And he's pulling them, and the sausages are dangling in front of his father. And he's like, "Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausage?" And it's just like
Kind of funny.
dangling in front of his head. I feel like we have to watch it after
That's
this.
like the essence of Tom Green's humor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
Is he doing anything now?
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling he
I
just
don't
made so
think
much money he doesn't care.
Well, I think he got sick. I think he's
one of
actually
those.
like legitimately ill now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now I feel bad. Well, no, I
Yeah.
talked about his good times.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Bum Bum song.
All right, so I remember this one. New 52 had Superman and Wonder Woman together, and everyone
yeah.
hated it.
I remember
Really?
that.
I thought it was a really good pairing.
I
Actually,
think it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Exactly. It makes
sense.
more sense. They're both
Absolutely,
superpowered
yes.
individuals. It allows them to be together as superpowered. I'm not against Superman and Lois, but Superman and
Right.
Lois has been a relationship that has gone on for
Forever.
yeah. So seeing
Yeah.
this type of relationship,
Right.
Superman with someone as powerful as him, I liked that. I did like
Yeah.
that take on it, but there was way too much backlash. They ended up getting rid of it.
I
Okay.
could see why, because
Really?
of the fact that like Superman and Lois Lane is so iconic.
Yeah.
Like it's
Like
just
salt
one of
and
those
pepper.
ones that you
Yeah.
think Superman, you think Lois Lane. But like you said, I don't see anything wrong with that. Like
No.
Superman and Wonder Woman, it really like it can open their eyes so much to also like the different aspects to how they each treat their superhero nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Wonder Woman being the more aggressive warrior and Superman
Right.
being the kinder Superman who's more
Yeah, the hero.
And they did a really good job about it
Right.
because they kept like Wonder Woman just wasn't, oh, she's Superman's girlfriend. She was Wonder Woman. They had multiple
Yes.
times where she would try to
Right.
go do something. He'd try to help her because he was her boyfriend, and she's like, "I will handle this." You
Yeah.
know, like they didn't
Right.
downplay Wonder Woman as a.
No, the
Like-
girlfriend figure.
Yes.
Yeah, the side character.
I feel like they try so hard to make Lois not just Superman's wife, and they do a good job of it. But they're reaching sometimes with it. Like
They are,
Lois,
yeah.
Lois, the reporter, is going to break into Lex's facilities and
Right.
find out the truth. Oh no, she's been caught.
Yep.
What?
Caught.
Didn't they like actually kind of like resolve that in Rebirth as well? Like when they brought back the other one, and they kind of like had that meeting of Wonder Woman. It might not have been Rebirth,
No, they
but
did.
it was
Rebirth.
Wonder Woman with her Superman had gone, and the old/new Superman with Lois Lane, and there was like a part with Lois and Wonder Woman where they're like, it's kind of awkward because they both love the same man, but kind of if I remember correctly, Wonder Woman was like, I loved a different man. Like they were understanding,
She acknowledges
and
it's not the same Superman.
Yes, and it was very good how they did it because they didn't just go, "Hey, didn't happen. We're ignoring it."
Yeah.
They actually addressed the point, did it in a good manner, and they were like, "Okay, go from there."
It was quick, but
Yeah.
they did address it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because so they had one Superman. The one that dated Wonder Woman was an entirely different version of him. And it didn't go well with the
okay.
fans. It was younger.
Okay.
He was brash. He made a lot of mistakes. He didn't have full
Okay.
control over his powers. Everyone wanted the 40-something Superman with Lois and a son, and that kind of
See,
thing.
and that's the Superman that I imagine actually being with Wonder Woman, not a younger, brash.
That's
does
the
that
one
make
that was
sense?
though.
Yeah,
so at
but
the
that
end of the
doesn't
New
make- that
52,
doesn't
they
make
like
sense.
blew that version up basically.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
he turned into sand or something.
He like got poisoned,
Yeah, something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
kryptonite poison, and
Yeah.
it was weird.
Okay, number 7 is Spider-Man and Black Cat. Now this one's chalked up as fans didn't want it because they already had Spider-Man and Mary Jane.
Yeah.
What I find to be funny about this is Spider-Man has not been with Mary Jane now since like 2008, 2009.
Only in Renew Your
Really?
Vows.
No, like in the main timeline there was a breakup, and I'm pretty sure it was like after Spider Island, when she had like weird spider powers for a little while. I actually kind of like that. But I did find it weird that the choice for Spider Island was that she went web swinging with a dress on. Like I feel like if you're gonna web swing, that's not the choice of attire.
No, not if you respect yourself.
However, the
Yeah.
people down below were a big fan of it.
Oh, we like this new Spider Woman.
Help!
terrible
Help!
choice.
Help! Where are you?
Come down from above.
Yes. Aerodynamically, that doesn't make any sense either. Like it's like a sail attached.
It gets snagged on something.
Yes.
It's just oh.
The drag on that dress must be like.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. But anyway, so apparently this says that when they put Spider-Man and Black Cat together, the fans didn't like it because they wanted to have Spider-Man with Gwen or Spider-Man and MJ. Those were accepted couples.
Spider-Man and MJ was always like that's what I grew up with.
Yeah,
was
well, I think we all
Spider-Man
did.
MJ.
Yeah, Spider-Man and MJ is like the classic couple.
Yeah.
Renew Your
Yeah.
Vows is doing a great job of telling that story,
Yeah.
actually.
It's kind of like the Superman and Wonder Woman.
Well, it was doing a great job. Then they
Like-
had 10 years and I don't like it anymore.
Right. No, it's
uh,
like the Superman and Wonder Woman, though, in the fact of it's like Superman's known with being with Lois
Yeah,
Lane.
right.
Whereas Spider-Man's known for being with Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane.
Right.
But, I mean, Black Cat, the only controversy I could see there is the fact that she's a villain.
Well, that's the argument
Like,
they're having right
that's-
now with Batman and Catwoman. That's a current relationship
Yeah,
in the
right.
comics, and the biggest
But
complaint
didn't they
Well,
always
no, not
kind
the
of
fans. The heroes in the
like-
comic are giving
Yeah.
Batman problems with that.
weren't they always just kind of like gray villains and in that
Yeah.
they would kind of toe the line a bit.
It was they're villains, but they do it for a good reason.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
it's the
But
Robin
do
Hood.
they really?
Yes. Do they really? Yeah.
So, okay. I mean, I've always kind of liked the idea of exploring
Yeah.
Black Cat and Spider-Man,
Right.
I like their
but I
interactions.
can see why it doesn't really work out in the long run.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon. Now this.
Oh my God, sorry.
Do you know the history behind that? The Killing Joke moment?
The movie, right?
Okay. Barbara Gordon has always been a pupil to Batman. That's
Okay.
always been the way they
Right.
treated it, right?
Okay.
So they're in the original animated series and into Batman Beyond, it was always implied that Batman kind of got with Barbara Gordon. He was with her for a little while.
Okay.
Be it a quick relationship or a brief relationship, they were together. We didn't
Okay.
know much about it, but as the Batman Beyond comic books came out, we discovered, like they revealed, like that was the falling out between Dick Grayson and Batman. Because Dick Grayson loved Barbara, and Barbara ended up being with Batman, and it didn't work out. But we never got anything beyond that.
Yeah.
Then they made it even weirder by having the movie Killing Joke come out, and they wanted to. The story was not long enough to make a movie, so they opened it with a 20-minute segment about Barbara Gordon to let you get to know her character better. And in that moment, she ends up sleeping with Bruce Wayne. And she's 100% portrayed almost as like a daughter figure to him, like a pupil,
Yeah.
a teacher. Like they didn't change up the dynamic between
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And she quits being Batgirl because it's awkward to work with Batman. And that was why she
So-
gave up being Batgirl. because he didn't accept her.
I thought that it was just.
It's very.
I didn't like that one at all.
Yeah, it's very like CW teen drama-ish.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to quit this because,
Well, I don't like about it all is that Barbara's always been the age of Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Right.
you put those two together. Like
Yeah.
they are the same age.
Yeah.
That's the same generation,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Right.
It doesn't
It was
work.
so
No,
weird.
and it
Because
doesn't make
like
any
the whole
sense,
idea, Batwoman and Batman, I could see because she's supposed to be like her own independent person.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a lesbian, so she's not gonna get with Batman. But you know what I mean. Like the age matters. She's not like his student. But Batgirl has always been portrayed as like training with Batman and training with the
Right.
Robins.
And I hate
Right.
to say it, but like part of, I mean, obviously this is take it at face value of the whole. He's Batman and she's Batgirl.
Yeah.
And it kind of
Even on a name
accentuates the
Yeah.
whole
Right.
he's older than she is.
Well,
and it's a weird it was
Yeah.
just so awkward to watch too.
Yeah.
Huh. I haven't seen it, but I mean, in my exposure to Batman,
If you do
I've
watch
always-
it, skip to when the movie starts.
Okay, I
Ignore
will.
that first 20
yes.
minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to betray his kind of level-headedness and that he's just a very good decision maker, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
He has his critical thinking skills are just amazing, and he would honestly, I can see him really thinking that through and thinking, okay, well, this would ruin us.
Yeah, it ruins the dynamic
yeah.
of the whole team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they show in the movie like him ducking her phone calls and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, like he's just all of a sudden like, no, leave me alone. I'm gonna
No,
hang up.
if Bruce Wayne does anything, it's not avoid phone calls.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
No,
I didn't like it. Fans don't like it.
No.
Bruce Timm of the animated universe loves to try and make it a thing. It's not a thing. We don't want it.
No.
one wants it.
No.
Get it out of here.
Just get her back with Nightwing. We'll be good. Brad Girl Nightwing. I want that
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Or even
Yep.
Luke Fox
Yeah,
in the
that was
current
really-
ones.
yeah.
I would be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
Not Batman. Not Batman.
Not Batman.
Batman's always was like 10 years older. Anyway.
Only Batman I would be okay with her being with is Dick Grayson as Batman.
No. Now you're just like nitpicking. Number 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, this isn't controversial because they're together.
Okay.
It's controversial because he smacked her.
Oh.
That's not
Wait,
cool.
hold on. Are we talking which Ant-Man? Grady?
Wait, this is Scott Lang, what?
I don't remember Yeah, which Ant-Man is this?
And it was Hank Pym he smacked Janet. And forever he's
Oh,
always
that's
been
right.
dubbed, oh, you hit your wife.
Yes, that's her.
I mean, everyone's done much worse things at this point, but yeah, that's the only reason they got him on the list.
Not cool.
I've actually, it's not cool. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Marvel has towed it and made Hank Pym pay for that crime for almost like 30 years. Mm-hmm. Like, there's been 10 times worse things that have happened to everyone else in the Marvel Universe. Hank Pym backhanded his wife once. Why is that still a talking point?
Yeah. Like it's I can see partly, but at the same time it's like there, like you said, there are so many other worse things that are
there
going
worse
on,
things.
Right.
but they're still just going like, this was the worst thing to possibly happen,
Right.
which kind of makes you go, then how are these things okay?
Yeah,
like,
exactly, yeah.
like what made you
Yeah.
think that is the
Right.
worst? I mean, I'm not saying that it's okay or
No,
anything
no,
like
definitely
that,
not.
but it's still, there's just, what are you,
I have a drink. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I agree with what you were saying.
I mean, it's horrible, but it
is
happened so
horrible.
long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Happened long ago that the
It's like
majority
30
of
years.
people only know of it because other people mention it.
Yeah.
No one ever remembers like
I mean,
it actually
right.
happening.
they just brought it up again in Secret Empire.
Okay.
Where they're talking to Hank Pym, who's combined with Ultron right now, and they bring up that he hit his wife, and he shouts back, he's like, "This is all you always bring this up. Like, you're an alcoholic. You've killed all of our friends. You've done this, and I hit my wife once." Like,
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like
Yeah.
like the whole situation. The way that Marvel handles that is like the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everyone else is like 10 times worse. If his worst crime is hitting his wife, like, then what is every? But Marvel has no issues then.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever
It's
since
like-
Hank hit his
it's like-
wife, we've had not a single villain attack.
Yeah.
No superheroes gone evil. Nobody's had an evil clone
Yeah.
takeover.
Right.
It's like when you watch a movie and it's a very violent movie, lots of people are dying, and then you only get upset when the dog gets hurt.
yes.
You're like, not the dog.
Why did the dog get hurt? Like, it's all equally bad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
That's-
like,
yeah, exactly.
there is a scale of how
Right.
bad it is.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one I'm going to have fun explaining to you guys.
Okay.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Oh God.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Aren't they brother and sister?
They are.
twins.
They're twins.
Welcome to why it's not good that they have an incestuous relationship in one of the universes.
You know
Hold
what's
up.
amazing about that? It's avoidable. Like as a writer and as I mean,
Is this? Hold on. Is this in one of the universes though? When they are legit
Yep.
siblings.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Because in some of them, it's like told that like one of them's adopted or something, and they're
Right,
not
right.
actually related.
Right.
But if they're like
Even
legit
then,
twin, yeah, even then,
it's
but
weird. Yeah.
That's. Ugh.
We were even uncomfortable watching like the Flash and Iris getting together, knowing they like grew up together. We were at first we were a little like, okay,
Let's throw that in there for a minute.
yeah,
I don't. CW. You changed the history of Barry Allen so that he's raised by Joe
yeah.
West. And then you maintain the Iris West relationship.
Exactly.
Barry has grown up with her as his sister. And now they have the. You had an entire plot in which they couldn't tell Joe that they were together because Joe knows that they grew up together and Joe looks at them as both his kids.
yeah. They both
Why
call him
is
Dad.
this a thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Why couldn't Barry...
I didn't mean to create it like.
Yeah.
No. Let me fix this for you, CW. If you
Yeah.
want to have him raised with the Wests, what about Joe West's neighbor? You know, his next door neighbor raises Barry. Then the
Or
West
family members.
or family. Well, he doesn't have family. That's
He doesn't
part
have
of the
family.
plot. No,
Oh, okay.
he doesn't. So I'll
Okay,
give him
I
that.
didn't know that.
But why couldn't it be Joe's partner? Why would you have them under
Yeah.
the same roof?
It's just kind of weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
I don't care if he's actually adopted. Wasn't he adopted at like 8 or 9?
11
11?
still.
I mean, it's at least 10
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
because he goes through college.
Yeah.
So we're looking at least bare minimum 10 years, more likely 15 or so.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Why? Why was this even a thing? And what
I don't
irritates
know.
me about that, Dan, is it's so avoidable.
Yeah. Avoidable.
It's so avoidable.
Because, all this stuff goes through something called pre-production. Yeah. Like, where people compare notes and ideas. And they, and none of this, it can all even be rewritten that day you film.
Yeah.
And you know what blows my mind? What blows my mind? This
Yeah.
isn't even something they decided later. It wasn't like, let's make them brother sister, and then season 2 they started we'll just kind of fix it. It was like season 1.
Episode 1.
It was like one of
They
the primary
established- yeah.
plots. He loves Iris.
There are so many people that went through and they were like, it's okay. I'm okay with that. They're basically brother and sister, but I'm okay with that. Actually, it sounds like it was probably written by the same people that did this.
Although I think as an audience member, it's easier to accept it because you didn't actually see them grow up together.
Yes.
The episode starts and I don't even think they're living together at this point. So
No.
I think as an audience member, you're like, okay, because in your mind, they've always been kind of separate.
Yeah.
Well, and
So it's
that's just it.
easier.
Like,
That I can
why,
see.
why is this
Yeah.
even a thing?
Right.
Why did Joe raised you? Why couldn't it be
Right.
you lived with the neighbor and Joe raised you that way?
Yeah. He was just a mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, incest.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly it.
It was basically that.
I'm pretty sure like Wolverine's related to them somehow.
Wait, what?
No, Wolverine walks in on them getting down and dirty.
Ugh.
Like the universe doesn't imply they're together, like shows they're
And then
together.
washes his eyes.
He doesn't wash
see-
them.
I
He
can
goes,
see- Yeah, they'll grow back. I can see Wolverine walking in. Hey, bub, you want to go get a you and you?
And you?
Just Wolverine. Dylan, censor that.
I was going to say, okay, come on, man. Let's be a little careful here. God, I do not know what I would do if I walked in on a brother and sister.
Xavier, I need you to wipe a memory of something I just saw.
Xavier's, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, man.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, let's go on to the next one because that one just, ugh.
Scott Summers and Emma Frost. Okay, this one I see. She was basically the rebound girl for
Yeah.
Jean Grey, and then she became his relationship.
Yeah.
I guess I see it. It's always controversial when they end up with the villain, but Emma Frost became a good guy, so.
Well, I mean, she's crazy.
Well, you're a huge fan of the X-Men. How do you feel about this?
Honestly, I feel like it was a good way to turn Scott into who he became. Like, because so the direction they took with Scott is he was always really good, and then he kind of went a little overboard and started to work with Emma Frost, Magneto, and kind of became a villain when it came to it. And then, of course,
this is
time
apparently
travel.
this was a weird moment in which he was cheating on Jean Grey with Emma Frost.
I think they actually, if I remember right, they actually...
It was in the Grant Morrison run.
Was that canon with all new X-Men?
Most likely.
Because I'm pretty sure that Emma Frost, when she's training young Jean Grey, starts messing with her by basically forcing the memories into her head of her walking in on Scott and Emma, Scott cheating on her. And I remember that being like a big thing that they brought back. But I don't know. Honestly, I feel like it was a good way to transition his character to what he became. Of the evil guy, kind of opened up the young Scott to learn from that. I thought it was kind of a cool thing. And the fact that Emma Frost, what happened in Humans versus X-Men, kind of like he truly turned her into the crazy person that she became.
Yeah.
And I think it really worked.
Right.
Well, they basically say it was a psychic affair, which I guess is...
Okay.
That's a thing?
Okay.
They're both
You're
telepaths.
married like I am, right, Gary?
Yes.
Can you cheat on your wife telepathically with another woman?
Not telepathically.
Okay.
No.
Dan, can you cheat on your
Hold on.
girlfriend telepathically with another woman?
I don't.
I think so. I don't think
Okay,
so.
so here's the weird thing about that though.
Okay.
Is she's such a strong telepath that she can almost like force feelings into people. She can basically manipulate
Right.
your mind into thinking something has happened.
I'm
I hate to
I'm
say
gonna
it.
leave you with this thought. We move on to the next one
Okay.
because I know what you're saying.
Yes.
She basically can give you the ultimate wet dream.
Yes.
That's weird.
It's
I just love that. You think about it. That's weird.
yeah.
That's weird.
But speaking of weird, let's go to
I
number
would
2.
not be okay with that.
Miss Marvel and her own son.
Wait, not. Are wait.
His face. He doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Look at
Hello.
his face.
Are we talking the completely messed up story where the guy in the different universe? We're not. Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
When
So here's the storyline. Is a guy
Okay.
from the future
okay.
came back in time,
Okay, this is what I thought.
impregnated her
Yeah.
by using telepathic powers to make her want to sleep with him
Okay.
so that she would give birth to him and repeat the cycle.
Yeah.
And she was basically like, it gets implied that the whole thing was rape, and they just,
Yeah.
and all the Avengers kind of push it aside.
Okay.
And this is what happened in like the 70s or the 80s, maybe the early 90s. This is when this happened. And so recently, I love it when they bring it up because
Oh.
she'll be like, she'll be talking to them and they'll be like, Carol, get over it. And she's like, I was raped and none of you cared.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh
It's-
my gosh.
It's, who wrote this? Does it say?
I don't know, but I remember there's one panel where like she's helping someone give birth. And she's like talking to them. She's like, "Don't worry, I've done this before. This happened. And everyone's like looking at her. She's like, "Well, I mean, I got over it," or something like
Yeah.
that. And you're just like, "Well, what the hell?" Because no one knew what that was when reading it. I had to
Right.
ask him really what was going on with that.
Yeah, this is even
Okay.
listed as
'Cause it was-
she's been raped by him in order to ensure that he has his own birth.
I did not realize that. Hold on. Okay,
Comics
so
have had some weird times.
so
I'm
here's
just saying. Go
here's
ahead,
my
go
question
ahead.
about it then.
Okay.
On this list, is it referring to that?
Yeah.
Or did they get together after she gave birth?
No. This is the only
Okay.
time this has ever happened. They've never
Okay.
revisited this plot for
Okay.
quite obvious reasons.
Right.
Yes, very obvious.
That may be one of the things we talk about on Swept Under the Rug, our new series in which we talk about things that Marvel and
Yes,
DC don't want you to
and-
know about.
Yeah, definitely.
Just the word keeps coming back to me as avoidable.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to screen these stories through people, through editors,
Oh, yeah,
and through
yeah.
and people. Nobody says,
Maybe
Yeah,
it's a little
it-
too far.
maybe we shouldn't
'Cause
add this to the story.
I don't know
Maybe-
the full thing, but
Right.
if I remember correctly, when this came out, it wasn't referenced as rape.
Yeah.
Like, whoever wrote it
But-
didn't see a problem with his plot.
Right.
And it was
Okay.
later where, like, another writer came in and said that she was, this was trauma and this
Yeah.
was rape.
Right.
And that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even, like, it went through all the editors and no one looked at it as, guy shows up, forces her to have sex so he can give
Red
birth.
pen.
Yeah, that's
Come on,
fine.
people.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
we're good.
Like, let's just stick to the other one where it was like he romanced her. Because if I remember right, that's what it was. Like, it was consensual in the first one.
No, the original
No.
was not. It's never been consensual.
I could have.
No. Yeah, it's never been that way. It involves Miss Marvel falling in love with her own son. It gets worse that not only did she give birth to her own son, but later transpired that she'd been raped by him. Yeah, okay. The original story, I think, tells that she fell in love with him, and then we find out that he, like, tricked her into falling in love with
Okay,
him.
that might
Yeah.
be what I'm thinking of
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
Still.
So basically, she was brainwashed.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Less
That's
okay. No, it's
It's-
less okay.
no,
I
it's-
don't
None of
think
it's
on
okay.
any level is it
No,
okay.
no,
At
no,
no point
no.
can okay be put into this
Into
discussion.
a category, yeah. No.
Oh, she was brainwashed? Well, that's perfectly okay then. She wasn't aware of the trauma. She dealt with it later. Yeah, okay.
Not what I'm saying. At all.
All right, number one most controversial relationship is Harley Quinn and Joker. How?
Is that because of the fact
Oh,
that like
because of how abusive it is?
Yeah.
And DC always tries to tone it as
Okay.
being not nearly as bad as
Right.
it actually is.
because
Right.
it's really bad.
Oh,
It's
it is.
really
Yeah.
bad.
It's, oh my gosh.
It's like the epitome of like an abusive relationship.
Oh, yeah.
It is like, what's the poster child? It's the poster child of an abusive relationship.
Right. Manipulative.
As much as people love the Joker Harley Quinn dynamic, it is abusive as hell.
It's
Yeah.
like when you
Past the surface, yeah.
when you take away the whole they are comic book villains and you look at the relationship, you're like, oh,
Yeah, this is.
pardon my language, but oh,
Dylan's
that
gonna
a
have so
lot.
much fun
You do
since
that a
this
lot.
episode.
Yeah.
What was it? I said a word dirty. Every episode, Dan needs to slip up. It's gonna be
oh
funny.
gosh. Oh, well, so far I've done it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, from the abusive
The
standpoint, I
fact
can
that-
see
Right.
it.
You can tell that it's abusive by the fact that in the movie, Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
Okay.
they tried to make it more of a mutual relationship.
Yes.
Where Joker loves her back.
Okay.
And it's more of like a, I hate to say it, it's more of a turn on abuse than
Yeah.
it is like abuse.
Actual abuse.
But yeah, no, that's messed up.
The way I'm sitting on this couch is not working for the record. It hurts
Okay.
my back.
Okay.
We
Maybe
need to
next-
figure out something else because
Yeah.
after 3 hours of doing multiple episodes, I'm just sitting here like the Hunchback in Notre Dame, like, the bells, the Esmeralda. You're my Esmeralda. Esmeralda!
And then you become Gaston. I'm Gaston.
I'm Gaston, and I'm off the camera. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here's how Benny's now going to do this.
Oh my god.
So
okay.
I can see that being the most controversial.
Really comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I like because honestly, until you said that and I removed the whole they are villains from my head, it's enormously because it's like the no matter what she loves him and no
Yeah.
matter what he does, like it's just it's the poster child, and it's
Yep.
kind of sad to think about now.
Which I think is what maybe one of the reasons why they're, as far as I know, they're trying to write it into the story that she's actually like getting away from him.
Yes,
And
I have
that
been
is
a fan
ending-
of
yeah.
when she's not with him,
Right.
and she's kind of her own person, like in
She's a different person.
Injustice.
She's a different person.
Injustice when she becomes her own self and she has the Harley gang and like she kind of understands how she got away from the Joker, and then eventually in Injustice 2 they bring the Joker back and they kind of show the whole like, but I loved him, but no, like he wasn't good for me, and I actually thought that was really good
Right.
and well done how they
Right.
did that.
Yeah.
They've done that a couple times now. Yeah, they've been doing a really good job of it.
Yeah.
So. Okay, I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that being probably one of the worst relationships in comics. I like
Yeah.
it. Like, the comic book nerd in me who watched the show back in the day
Right.
likes it.
And they didn't go into much of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The older me who can now
Yeah.
see what that relationship is goes,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I actually really like the Harley solo run, where she's broken out of that whole thing. And she's
Yeah.
doing great.
Yeah.
She's a great villain by herself. I don't know if she could really be considered a villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never considered like a
She doesn't know. I
chaotic
think.
evil kind of person.
Yeah.
I would see more like chaotic neutral
Yeah.
in a way. But
Okay.
So, all right.
All right.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the next phase.
Okay.
Pitch me your relationship, Dan, see if, so we can decide who
So-
has the better comic book relationship that won't fly in the actual books.
so this one was kind of a a big stretch. Wonder Woman and Green Arrow.
That is a huge stretch.
It's a huge stretch. Here's what I was thinking is for some reason, because of Diana growing up and being raised by the Amazons,
Right.
all of them being warriors, having some being bowmen or bowwomen, being swordswomen, like stuff like that. She sees that in Green Arrow that he's an archer. And there's something about that kind of reminds her of where she grew up. And he also obviously has his entire stuff of the island and all that. But basically, like, that's the core of the relationship is she sees the Amazon in him. And therefore, that's why the relationship occurs. Like I said, quite a long stretch because I was, for the record, I was told this about 10 minutes before. Yeah.
You had an hour. You had an hour before we did. Actually, like 2 before we got to this episode.
Yeah, but we were also talking about other stuff, so I couldn't really think about it. But yes, like, in that regard, yes. But it would also be an interesting way to show Wonder Woman understanding how to deal with humans.
A regular human.
A regular human, and kind of, like, use that in a way of, like, this is how she knows to pull back on stuff and not... Like, understands that people aren't Amazons and can withstand.
But can I interject with?
Yes.
I would
like
honestly, in my mind, I can see Wonder Woman just being terrible in relationships. I just can't. I don't see her like being romantic, and like I don't see her wanting to settle down, even with Green Arrow,
Right.
or even like I just see. Honestly, I can see Oliver breaking up with her and just saying, you know what, this isn't working out.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Oliver breaks up with Diana and you just have the Diana,
Oh, man.
a whole comic or just being like, he broke up with me?
Yes,
I will break him.
but I can't. I mean, I don't know. Do you think I'm wrong, or like
No,
I could see her just
Wonder
being
Woman
terrible.
definitely doesn't seem
Yeah.
very relationshipy, but that's honestly why
Yeah.
kind of the relating it to the Amazons, because there has been stories of her being in a romantic relationship with other Amazons, because
Right.
obviously they're all adult women. They're there for a hell of a long time, and being in love is just a natural part of life. Like when it comes down to it, because there have been stories about that. But
You got to give me a really bad pitch not to beat that.
So does it have to be a bad one, or does it can be?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's a really bad pairing.
Yeah.
So, unless yours
Okay.
is horrendous. If you're like Lobo and Batwoman.
That's a lot to live up to.
that was my backup, by the way.
Lobo, Batwoman. All right, what do you got for me?
This isn't going to be maybe it is a bad one, but again, this is my limited exposure to comic books. But I've always imagined, or maybe even recently imagined, the Flash and Supergirl being an item.
I could
being
see
an
that.
item.
They haven't been
Or
together.
even just trying it. Be like,
Yeah.
I like you, you like me, we're kind of cool.
We both run fast.
Yeah, we both run fast. Like I can
kind of
keep
the
up
thing
with
we
it.
both do.
So let's give it a shot.
I could. Okay,
Yeah.
here's because you probably don't
Yeah.
know enough about comics to know this.
I don't.
I wouldn't say Barry.
Whatever it is.
But I could see Wally trying it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
you do know Wally.
Okay, yes,
Yeah, I can see Wally going
I
for
could
Wally
see
trying
it very going for the fact of kind of they're also both the
understudies.
Well, 'cause
yeah.
like they
Wally's always-
both are they relate on the factor of like you had this role model that was basically the same person. I had this role model that was
Right.
basically
Yeah.
the same person.
Right.
Wally has dated metas before, so him dating Supergirl, I wouldn't say would be out of the question.
Right.
You have a goofy moment where they meet up, and he's like, "Hey, you want to run around the moon?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take you back in time."
France in the 1930s. Let's go.
It'll be amazing.
Crap, I forgot Valentine's Day. I'll just spin around the world real quick.
No, that's a Superman.
I know.
reference.
Did you see
Which,
the
by the
connection?
way, would not work.
compared?
So I'm just saying.
Because Supergirl, Superman,
I guess.
mix the two.
Okay.
I could see that one working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I could
Wally and
actually see
Supergirl?
legit happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. I'd read that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be interested. I don't see it going long.
No.
Oh,
I
no.
see the characters are too powerful in their own rights to
Yeah.
kind of keep it out.
They would also have that kind of like.
I can see.
I feel like the big thing with superheroes is
Yeah.
there reaches the point of who's stronger, who's going to be the one
Like a
that at the
competition.
worst at
Yeah.
the end of the day would Supergirl go in to save the Flash? Or does the Flash go in to save the Supergirl?
Why does it have to be either?
Yeah.
Why do you have to classify it like that, Dan?
Yeah.
Why are you using any pronouns with them at all?
Yeah.
What if Super Person had to go with other Super Person?
Why can't they equally
maybe-
be strong?
But like it
Yeah.
just does add that dynamic
it all
of
does.
like feeling a little bit inadequate
Right.
because
Right. But I'm-
someone
because
came in
in
to
their-
protect
yeah,
you,
in
and
their
you're
own
supposed to.
In all
Yeah.
honesty, I could see what totally would happen. Okay, Wally goes in, does a whole bunch of stuff, like stops a big villain, buildings crumbling down. Supergirl swoops in, carries him out, like literally cradling him, and him just being like, "This is new. I'm okay with it."
Yeah. He would be okay with it.
Yeah, I can see Wally
He'd
just
be
being
totally
like,
fine.
"I'm accepting this."
I'm accepting this. You can whisk me away anytime. Yep.
That's what I see happening.
That just reminds me of that one time where the Flash carries Batman. He's like, "You're not telling anyone this."
That wouldn't be
Yep.
Wally. I could see Wally. Like,
Yeah.
I could even see him like talking to the Titans and being like, "Yeah, Supergirl carried me away. You ever flying?
It's pretty
Yeah, I've been
amazing.
flying. It was cool.
It was
she
cool.
carried me like over
Yeah.
the world."
He would boast about it. Be like, "Yep, that's my girlfriend.
yeah.
That's my girl.
I could see Wally doing
That's
it.
my
Yeah.
girl." Yeah. Well, I can imagine if the relationship ended, it would be because one of them said, "I think we're moving too fast."
Was that entire pitch just to end with that?
No, it wasn't.
Oh
but
my
I
God.
think it's pretty.
That is the punctuation. That is
Yes.
the punctuation to this episode, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up this episode of the. We are streaming this live on Twitch, viewers here on YouTube. And I did notice one thing. They said R, N, H, and G won't work for one reason. You're Dan, and second reason.
Thank
For
you.
second reason, I'm not Rob.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I didn't even. I defended him earlier, but not you.
I'm not Rob. I'm Benny.
You're Benny.
So I can't be the R.
The B and
so they were
D
suggesting
and
that the
G.
new name is
Oh.
for this particular spin-off episode is the GDnB.
The GDB.
The GDnB. Got to put the N.
Okay.
GDnB.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
So thank you.
Lowercase n, of course.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for the
Mm-hmm.
GDnB.
Okay.
Oh man.
Not from two experts of comic books, but readers of comic books. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked your pairing.
Thank
His
you.
was horrible. I liked yours.
Mine was terrible. I'll be perfectly honest. When I was going through, I couldn't think of superheroes.
Yep.
I was like, who exists?
I would have. My pitch
Yeah.
would have been like Red Hood, and there was a thing with Joker's daughter, which I thought would have been interesting. But since she's kind of like retconned out, it'd have to be Harley. But I could have seen Red Hood and the New 52 Joker's daughter working out.
See, I feel like even though we're at the end of this, I got to keep going on that. She would be in love with him, but not because it was Red Hood, but because it reminded her of the Joker
Oh, yeah.
when he came back
That's-
as the Red Hood.
That's why the relationship would work, I
Right.
think.
That would
Right.
be.
He's trying to
kinda
redeem
cool.
her, and she's trying to picture him as the Joker. But since she's been kind of retconned out, if you're going with that same vein of Joker kind of thing, because I can see Red Hood wanting to redeem people that have been affected by the Joker.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or Red Hood and let's really reach for it. Red Hood and Neo Joker. You have no idea who that is because
I have
neither of
no
you are
idea.
reading White Knight.
Oh, is that good guy?
I don't want to spoil it.
Is
don't-
it?
The White Knight spoilers.
I've
All
only,
I will say is, without telling you
I've
why,
glanced over issue 1.
I'm not going to give you the reason as to why this is, but there are two Harleys,
Oh,
and one becomes Neo Joker. And I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you why because I'll play
okay.
that in the video.
that's
Okay.
cool.
Okay.
But basically, Red Hood ending up with a Joker version.
Yeah. Now that would be some messed up stuff. Hey, you killed me. Let's get together. It was real turn on right there.
Oh, on that
Anyway.
note, I hope you guys enjoyed the GDnB. I gotta think it out of my head as I'm going. You can find me on Twitter at Comicstorian. Dan is at Dan T Editor, and he is at GaryCam4. Why is it 4?
That's right. It's just what they gave me. That's what Twitter gave me was GaryCam4. I mean, I typed in GaryCam and it came up with 4.
Okay, GaryCam4.
All right.
Rob was away for a family emergency, but he'll be back next week, no problem. Natalie was away all day today from our discussions and stuff because of an ear infection, but hopefully we're going to see the doctor after this, so hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. And if you want to catch us live, check us out every Thursday when we do this live every morning. So
Yeah.
that's that. And thank you
All right.
guys for joining us here on YouTube, and we'll see you next time. And if you're here on Twitch, we'll be answering some questions. Enjoy.